Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Baseball It's Unrooted, not baseball.
And bloopers.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Baseball Edition, and my guest for this week's show is none other than senior left-hander on the baseball team, Thomas Cox. Thomas, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Now let's start by talking a little bit about you personally. This is a rebound year for you here in 2017 after 2016 was missed largely due to injury. Could you talk a little bit about what specifically the injury was and what the rehab process was like?
Yeah, definitely. It's been difficult for sure. I had surgery last year, about halfway through the season on my shoulder, had to get my labrum repaired. And I originally tore it my sophomore year and decided not to do surgery because of the percentage chance of people coming back and succeeding from it. So I chose to do 6 months of extensive rehab. Came here my junior year and it went very well, and then last year kind of noticed I wasn't myself. Stuff was very, very down in the velocity department, and after my 7th start, Jay kind of pulled me aside and was like, hey, I know this isn't how you want to go out. You're eligible for a red shirt if you get surgery right now. I understand, it's not going to be easy, but, you can get a 5th year. And so we decided to do that, and it's worked out so far. We had to speed up the rehab process a little bit, which has been difficult and has good days and bad. But for the most part, I get a 5th year to play ball, and can't really complain too much.
Absolutely. Now this probably places a lot more emphasis on your location because your velocity is still just a little bit down from where it was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. What kind of adjustments have you had to make on the mound?
Yeah, well, like you said, my velocity is still down, and right now we're just kind of getting the strength back, getting everything back into it. So, we're facing live hitters now, so it's, I can't take it as, a rehab start. So we're facing a lot of emphasis on getting the changeup over, getting the curveball over, fastballs, got to really make sure to hit those corners. If not, it's a BP fastball. It can get hit very far. Yeah. So mixing speeds, changing eye levels, and just getting ahead of hitters has really helped so far.
Speaking of your changeup, it's honestly probably one of the best pitches that I've seen here at the NAIA level. I remember coming in and doing games your sophomore year and seeing you pitch for the first time. I was just blown away by the changeup because I was a lefty back in high school, mm-hmm. and I threw a circle change, and it was the bread and butter and the savior to allow me to pitch in high school. Tell me about how you learned that and what the mechanics are behind it.
Yeah, well, I learned it in high school. My coach Jesse Lehane taught me it, and it's a split change. So I grip it like a splitter off the 2-seam, and I just have the other fingers wrapped around it to make sure we get that to make sure it gets slower. So it's been my bread and butter so far, and just what's nice about it is I throw it exactly like my fastball. I just let the grip do its thing, and just kind of let it do its thing, and it's hasn't failed me yet. Yeah. So it's been nice to me.
Yeah. Now last year you rocked one heck of a beard for Mustache March.
Yeah.
Not quite the mustache, but you had the beard and you had the hair combo going. But this year you're trimmed, and you told me it's not coming back. Why?
Yeah. I get that a lot. A lot of people on the team are not happy that it's gone. But it was something that a bunch of the guys on the team decided to do. We started in October and just kind of kept it going throughout the entire year. And what made me kind of shave it off was it was just a pain to maintain. Just kind of got in the way a lot. And what really made me do it was when I went home, my mother was not happy with it. And when mom's still supporting you kind of listen to what she says. So when she told me to shave it, it was kind of like, all right, let's do it. We'll shave.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, see, she raised you right. She raised you right if you're still respecting her like that. All right, let's transition over to the team a little bit. You guys just came off a non-conference win against Jessup 14-4, but I want to talk about the weekend series you guys had down in Biola. It was your first conference series of the year. The finale got rained out, but you got 2 games in, and you swept the doubleheader. You won 5-2 and 5-3. How important was it for you guys to go down to Biola on the road and get a pair of wins against a team that gave you fits last year?
Yeah, it was big for sure to get that first conference game out of the way, and to come out with 2 wins was very big. But I think it says a lot about our team and the group that we have. They changed it to, Friday at 8 a.m. was the first game, and Thursday we spent eight or so hours on the bus, and that's not a very easy transition to do. And so for us to go out at 8 a.m. and compete and perform the way we did says a lot about the team we have and the group of individuals that are here this year.
And if just a few of those guys are leading the offensive charge, Julian, Gerard, and Jordan Getzelman have been absolutely raking to start the year. Gerard is at .417 with 4 home runs and 8 RBIs, while Getzelman is at .350 with 5 home runs and 15 RBIs. And we're in the middle of February right now. So from a pitcher's standpoint, what is most impressive about them?
Yeah, well, I can tell you what, I'm glad they're on our team and not on another team. They're awesome. Not only are they great hitters, but they're great guys. They just create such havoc for the pitcher. There hasn't been one pitch that's been able to be their weakness. They've kind of adjusted to what the pitchers are doing to them and going off from there so far. And they're very tough outs to get, and they're very big, strong guys. And so when they connect, it goes a long way, and it gets hit very hard.
Now in 2015, you and Brett Solano formed quite the 1-2 punch for the Oaks. You guys combined to win a total of 16 games. This year, you're both back after spending last year on the red shirt side. How valuable is it for you guys to have this kind of depth in the staff?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, the last 2 years, that's kind of been our kryptonite, was our depth on the mound. And for us this year to have Brett back and have our guys healthy, it's big. We have, a numerous amount of guys in the bullpen that you can count on to come in at any point in the game, any situation, come in, throw strikes, get outs, and get out of a jam. And to have them be able to do that, and then have 5, 6 guys that can be considered for a starting job is huge. It gives the coaches so much leeway, and it gives us so much trust in the guy behind us to go out there and put up more zeros.
Now the rain has been wreaking havoc on you guys in terms of practice and scheduling games, so I'm sure it was nice to get a full practice in here today with no rain in the forecast. What have you and the pitchers been up to try and stay on track?
Yeah, it's been difficult. There's been a lot of adversity for sure. We go to the Foundry a lot, which is an indoor facility. We go there and we face live hitters in their cages. When we're not doing that, we're here on the turf, getting our work in there, or on the tennis courts even. We'll bring the portable mound out from here. It takes the whole staff to carry it, and we'll take it all the way to the tennis courts or to the turf and get our work in there. So it's been tough, but it's going to pay off in the long run dealing with this type of adversity.
Yeah, another team that's having to go through the exact same thing is Westmont. They're ranked 8th in the nation, and you guys begin a weekend series with Westmont this weekend here up in the Bay Area. What's the report on them, and how are you guys going to approach this series?
Yeah, well, they're a very good team. They gave us some fits last year. They're returning a lot of guys, so it's nice that we kind of know what to expect from them. But for us, we just need to stay with our approach. Our pitchers need to get ahead, throw strikes, not allow free bases, because that's what's hurt us in the past. Our hitters just need to stay with their approach, not get too anxious, and if we just stay even keel and stay with our approach throughout the entire weekend, we'll be more than just fine.
Now let's transition into the final segment of the show. I call it Brownie Bites. Thomas, I'm going to ask you 3 random rapid-fire style questions.
Let's do it.
Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. If you were given a 3-course meal before or after a game, what are your ideal 3 courses?
Okay, well, I'm going to start out with some boneless, mild chicken wings. I'm not a fan of the too hot.
I agree.
I'm then going for the main course, chicken parmesan. Just big thing of chicken with a lot of noodles and a lot of marinara sauce. And then for dessert, I'm going to wait till after the game because,
of course,
won't be feeling too good. And I'm going to go with the chocolate lava molten cake. And it's usually my go-to at a restaurant if I have enough money.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah,
but now
it's nice.
We got to go back to the chicken parm. You got to say the jingle now.
Chicken parm jingle?
Yeah, come on now. You ever seen the Nationwide commercials with Peyton Manning? Come on now. What does he say? You got to give it to us.
I'm drawing a blank here.
Chicken parm, you taste so good.
There it is. I just needed a little refresher.
There we go. All right. Question number 2. You can pick 3 teammates to start a boy band with. Which 3 are you choosing and why?
Oh, I've been dreaming about this for a long time. We're going to go with Justin Bruce at lead vocals, because he's kind of considered the pretty one. We're going Jordan Getzelman on drums because he's got the muscles to, you know, show off on the drums. And then we're gonna go Reed Keenley on guitar because he's got the hair, so he can really get after it on the guitar with the hair flip.
Yeah,
and
Reed's got the greasy hair look going for him.
He's got the greasy, dirty hair look, and it's a good look in my opinion. And I think, you know, he can draw some crowds with him on guitar.
I think you're right. Sign me up for some front row seats, will you?
You got it.
Oh, sweet. Question number 3. Which teammate could do the best Jake McKinley impersonation?
You know, it's weird. Usually with Jake being the head coach, you get a lot of guys imitating him behind his back. But, you know, we don't really have much of that. But so I'm going to go with Nick Quijado and Mac Boone would probably be my 2 that I think could do the best. And I think it's just because they have a very strong relationship with Jake and they're kind of attached to his hip a lot. So they spend the most time with him. So I would assume that they know him the best and would be able to give the best impersonation.
2 that don't surprise me whatsoever.
Doesn't surprise anybody.
Thomas, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And fans, as a reminder, baseball kicks off their home conference slate against Westmont this weekend. They have a doubleheader on Saturday starting at 11 o'clock a.m. at Changeup College. And those games will be broadcasted live on the Menlo College Sports Network. Myself and Luke Halgerson will be out there on the call of that. And then Sunday, the series wraps up at a to-be-determined location and time with rain wreaking havoc here in the Bay Area. Well, don't forget, next week, Thomas Cox is going to select the next interviewee on Baseball Unrooted, so you might want to stick around and find out just who he decides to throw under the bus. I'm Brian Brownfield. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you right back here next week.